AITA for choosing my wife over my mother. I, 32 male, have been married to my wife, Emma, 30 female, for 3 years. My mom has always been an important part of my life, and while I knew there might be some adjustments when I got married, I didn't expect it to turn into a constant struggle. My mom has never really liked Emma, though she's never said anything directly, it's always been clear from her actions. She makes passive-aggressive comments, and things have only gotten worse over time. From the beginning, it felt like I was constantly in the middle of a tug-of-war between two of the most important people in my life, but recently, things hit a breaking point. Our wedding was the first big conflict. Emma and I wanted a small, intimate ceremony with just close family and friends. We agreed that it should be about celebrating our love, not some huge social event. But as soon as we started planning, my mom had a very different vision. She wanted a grand event and insisted on inviting extended family, some of whom I hadn't even seen in years, and a bunch of her friends that neither Emma nor I knew. At first, Emma tried to go along with it, but when my mom handed us a guest list that was triple the number we had agreed on, Emma put her foot down. She told me we couldn't let my mom hijack our wedding, and we needed to stick to what we wanted. When I told my mom, she got incredibly upset, saying that Emma was trying to cut her out of the most important day of her son's life. She accused Emma of being controlling and disrespectful toward family traditions. I tried to compromise, letting my mom invite a few extra people, but it didn't make anyone happy. Emma felt like I didn't stand up for her, and my mom was angry that she didn't get her way. At the wedding, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. My mom didn't smile once and made it very clear she was unhappy. Emma was hurt, and to this day, she brings up how I failed to have her back when it really mattered. Fast forward to last month. Emma and I live in a cozy house, and she works from home. She's a graphic designer with a demanding schedule, and she needs quiet and space during work hours. My mom, however, has a habit of dropping by unannounced whenever she's in the area. It's usually harmless, but it can be disruptive, especially when Emma is trying to meet a deadline or handle a conference call. One particular evening, my mom showed up around dinner time, just as Emma was finishing up an important project. She didn't call or text beforehand, she just knocked on the door with bags of groceries, expecting to stay for dinner and chat for a few hours. Emma was already stressed, and she quietly told me she didn't have the mental space to entertain that night. I gently asked my mom if she could maybe come another day, explaining that Emma had work to finish. My mom immediately looked hurt and started tearing up. She accused me of pushing her aside for my wife, saying that I've changed since getting married and that I don't care about her feelings anymore. She said I'm letting Emma turn me against her and stormed out of the house in tears. After she left, Emma was frustrated and told me that this was exactly what she feared. She's always made to feel like the villain. She said it wasn't fair that my mom can drop by whenever she wants and expect everything to revolve around her, especially when she doesn't respect our boundaries. Emma then told me that unless I put an end to this cycle, it was going to start affecting our relationship even more. At this point, I feel stuck. On one hand, I love my mom. She raised me on her own after my dad passed away, and we've always been close. But on the other hand, Emma is my wife, my partner, and I know I need to prioritize her in our marriage. I tried to talk to my mom about boundaries, explaining that while she's always welcome in our lives, we need some structure, like calling before visits. But she took it as an attack and said I'm choosing Emma over her. Now, she's barely talking to me. She's been telling relatives that Emma is alienating me from my family, and that it's only a matter of time before I regret letting my wife control everything. Emma, on the other hand, says she doesn't want to keep living like this, where she always feels like the bad guy and I'm always playing mediator. I'm torn. Am I the A** hole for standing up for my wife and setting boundaries with my mom? Or am I neglecting my mom's feelings and being an ungrateful son?